worker, but she only does sex work with women.
I love vaginas. I love women. I do not see them as separate things. Women pay me to dominate them, to excite them, to make them come. I did not start out like this. No, to the contrary, I started out as a lawyer. But in my late 30s, I became obsessed with making women happy. There were so many unfulfilled women, so many women who had no access to their sexual happiness. It began as a mission of sorts, but then I got involved in it. I got very good at it. Kind of brilliant. It was my art. I started getting paid for it, and it was as if I had found my calling. I wore outrageous outfits when I dominated women. Lace, silk, and leather. I used props. Whips, handcuffs, rope, dildos. There was nothing like this in tax law. There were no props. And I always had to wear those blue corporate suits. Although, I do wear them from time to time in my new line of work, and they serve quite nicely. Context is all. But there were no props in tax law. No wetness. No dark, mysterious foreplay. No erect nipples. No delicious mouths. But mainly there was no moaning. Not the kind I'm talking about anyways. This was key. I realize now that moaning was the thing that ultimately seduced me and got me addicted to making women happy. I would see women in the movies when I was a little girl making love, making strange, orgasmic, moaning noises. I used to laugh. I got strangely hysterical. I couldn't believe that such big, ungoverned sounds like that came out of women. I longed to moan. I would practice in front of a mirror, on a tape recorder. I would moan in various keys, various tones, but it always sounded fake. It was fake. It wasn't rooted in anything sexual, only in my desire to be sexual. But then when I was 10, I had to pee really badly once, on a car trip, and it went on for almost an hour. And when I finally got to pee in this dirty little gas station, oh, it was so exciting, I moaned. I moaned as I peed. I couldn't believe it. Me, moaning in a Texaco station in the middle of Louisiana. I realized then that moans are connected with not getting what you want right away, but with putting things off. I realized that moans were best when they caught you by surprise, came out of that hidden, mysterious part of you and spoke its own language. I realized that moans are, in fact, that language. So, I became a moaner. It made most men anxious, frankly, and terrified them. I was loud, and they couldn't concentrate on what they were doing. They'd lose focus. Then they'd lose everything. We couldn't make love in people's homes. The walls were too thin. And I got a reputation in my building, and people started to stare at me with contempt in the elevator. Most men said I was too intense. Some even called me insane. I began to feel bad about moaning. I would make noise into a pillow. I choked my moan, hold it back like a sneeze. But it was so bad. And I don't know, I was becoming hopeless until I discovered women. I discovered that most women love my moaning. But more importantly, I discovered how deeply excited I got when other women moaned, when I could make other women moan. It became a passion. Discovering the key, unlocking the vagina's mouth, this voice, this wild song. I made love to quiet women, and they found this place inside them and shocked themselves with their moans. I made love to moaners, and they found a deeper, more penetrating moan. I was obsessed. I longed to make women moan, to be in charge, like a conductor, maybe, or a band leader. It was a kind of surgery, a kind of delicate science, finding the exact tempo, location, or home of the moan. That's what I called it. Sometimes I'd find it over a woman's jeans. Sometimes I'd sneak up on it, quietly disarming the surrounding alarms and moving in. Sometimes I used force, but not violent, oppressive force. No, more like dominating. I'm gonna take you someplace. sit back and enjoy the ride kind of voice. Sometimes it was simply mundane. I would find it before things even got started, while we were sitting there, eating chicken or salad, just casual with my fingers. Here it is, in the kitchen, all mixed up with the balsamic vinegar. Sometimes I used props. I love props. Sometimes I made a woman find her own moan in front of me. I waited, stuck it out until she opened herself. No, I wasn't fooled by the more minor, obvious moans. I pushed her further, all the way to her power moan. There's the clit moan, the vaginal moan, the combo clit vaginal moan, the almost moan, the right on it moan, the mountaintop moan, yodeling, the gray slick moan, the wasp moan, the tortured zen moan, the doggy moan, the baby moan, the southern moan, yes, yes! The uninhibited militant bisexual moan, the machine gun moan, the diva moan, and finally, the surprise triple orgasm moan. Yes, yes, oh God, yes!